He's not saying I'm itching to go to the playoffs. He's saying I'm itching to go to the playoffs with a team that actually has a chance to win a series. Do you agree?
Absolutely, I agree. But the problem here is the Boston Celtics aren't about the playoffs. The Boston Celtics are about hanging banners and winning titles. So while I think that the Celtics have improved and Kemba can be excited about going to the playoffs, the end game doesn't change for this group. They're a solid team. I just don't think they're good enough to win a title. And when you're in Boston, after all the success that they've had over time, that's the measure of what everything else goes by.
When I look at the Celtics roster, I see a great front court. I see a couple good wings. A great backcourt and a couple good wings, but I'm a little concerned about their front court. Do you think they will tweak the roster around the trade deadline to get some help with the bigs?
They should, but you know who left who is really going to make the difference? A guy named Al Horford, and he's now in Philadelphia. Jacoby, I don't think everybody else understands just how massive his presence or the lack thereof is going to be for this group, because not only was he the veteran in the locker room that everybody listened to, but he's the guy who everybody could place in any different situation and feel comfortable that he could take care of it defensively. So he was giving you plenty offensively. Defensively, he was always there. He was stable. This group does not have that guy. So maybe Danny Ainge can make another move, but no move is going to be better than the guy you just saw walk away.
I think that's a really good point. I think I've watched a lot of Celtics games. I grew up in Massachusetts. Al Horford meant a lot more to that team than people realize, on both sides of the floor. And that's one of the reasons I think the 76ers are going to be excellent this year. But that is not what we're discussing at the moment. We are talking about the Celtics and their bigs and how they need help in the front court. And perhaps the help will come in the form of a gigantic man named Tacko Fall. We saw him at Summer League. To call him a project is even a stretch, but he looked pretty good at times. He's obviously gigantic. He can dunk without leaving his feet. Danny Ainge said that there's a high priority for him to really develop into a player. Nick, do you think Tacko Fall has a future in a Celtics uniform next season?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
UCF in the building, Jacoby.
Yes.
This is my guy from Orlando. I think he has a legit chance to do something. And when you're that tall and you can move a little bit and you're going to get some NBA training and feel a little bit more athletic on the floor, you have the opportunity to do something. So Tacko has the chance now. And I can tell you, having just gotten back from Vegas last week, anytime this guy touched the ball, anytime he went to the bench, fans booed. Anytime he did anything, everybody was going nuts. So he's really the new Scal for the Celtics. He is the guy that everybody else will get rallied around and hyped up about anytime he is able to do anything on the floor. But truly, I think he could help them in some small capacity to start next season.
Yeah, I do not think that he's going to be Anthony Davis, but can he come in and sort of get a couple blocks and a couple buckets and play 10 minutes? Yeah, he can. And I think that the Celtics, they say it's a high priority to develop him into a player. He's pretty developed. We know who he is. We know what he can and can't do. You put him in a position to succeed. He's not going to be a starting center, but he could take the 14th spot on the roster, get some minutes, and then maybe a few years down the road, he's kind of like a Sean Bradley type. Do you think that there's a long NBA career ahead of your guy, Tacko Fall?
I think he has a chance, and you put him in the right system, and I think that's crucial. If you're in Boston and you have Brad Stevens and you know he knows where to place different guys, that's the key for any guy like Tacko, who very clearly has limitations, but he can help in certain areas. And when you're a team that needs front court help like the Celtics do in the moment, you try anything and see if it really works. And if you're Tacko, you have that chance, and you hope that Danny Ainge will sign off on it.
Well, just in case anyone watching this has forgotten exactly how gigantic of a human being Tacko Fall is, we've got video of him riding an amusement ride. I do not need to explain to you which one is Tacko, because as you will see when this thing goes up, he's a very large man. Look at his legs in comparison to everybody else's. Those are also basketball players, I want to remind you. He is not with children. His legs just stick out so much further than everyone else's. My question for you is this. If you were Tacko Fall, would you go on an amusement ride that was built for regular-sized humans?
Absolutely, because you have to be like everybody else. And Tacko's used to be in the center of attention, but Jacoby, when you've lived that life, you want to fit in with all the rest of your teammates and all the rest of the fans and everybody else around you. So yes, you go on that ride, you watch your head maybe a little bit, but you have fun when you can.
Well, I'm wishing the best for Tacko Fall. He is a fan favorite already and has not played a single minute in the NBA.